Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man, and today is live stream number 68. And the date is March the 29th, 2021. I want to welcome everyone who joins me live this evening, as well as anyone who might be watching later on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. As always, all the live streams are archived under the live stream playlist. And also want to give an extra warm welcome to anyone who might be new to the channel or watching this the very first time. I hope you enjoy, and greetings to everyone that is joining. I hope everyone has had a nice start to the week and a nice Monday as well. Hello, Paulina Maria. Hello, look, it's Mr. Mountain Man. How are you, sir? I am doing well. How are you doing on this Monday? I hope you're having a great start to your week. We've got Hope Faith here. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, how are you doing today? How's everyone doing today? We are doing just fine. Getting the week started off, getting into the grind, having the Monday finish off with Mr. Mountain Man Monday. Hope you're doing well. We've got Coaster Mom here. Good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, everyone. As always, yes, we've got a Traveling Hoosier. Hello to you as well. Hope you and Blondie's Adventures, who I see just popped in there as well. We got Living Like Larry. Happy Monday. Yes, absolutely. We got Mom here. Hello, Mom. Hope if Dad is in earshot. I love you guys. I hope you are doing well. We've got Lily up there. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, happy Monday. Have a great week. I saw that you had a video, I believe, on making grilled cheese. I did not have a chance to watch that one, but I had also seen the series of some of the snow videos as well. The only snow I ever saw, like the snow that you get, is the snow that my grandparents had growing up when I would visit Erie, Pennsylvania, from that lake effect snow. The type of snow that you get up there is crazy. So you have to let us know if spring is coming your way. Hey, Blondie's Adventures, hope you're doing well and having a nice start to your week. And yes, hello to everyone in the chat. Everybody's saying howdy to each other. Hey, we got Foxy Wolf here. The sun has gone down in North Carolina, so it's time to party over the Mr. Mountain Man Monday Mountain Man live stream. That's right. We'll get the old hammer here. Let's see if I can get it going. Can you guys see the hammer with my long sleeve shirt in the picture? As always, Foxy giving the greeting. It is 67 and 68 today and tomorrow, 38 on Wednesday. Right. Same thing happening here in North Carolina. When I get to the news and notes, you will see the weather for the Asheville area, and it is going to get downright chilly at night in the 20s again. So Old Man Winter's letting us know he might be gone, but he still exists. And so we'll get a little bit of a chill. That is one of the reasons, by the way, I haven't put down any grass seed or much in the way of fertilizer. I could have done fertilizer, but the grass seed for sure, because get another frost or freeze and it's just a waste of money. And I bought a couple of bags. It's like $80 for a couple of bags. I get the stuff that has already the fertilizer mixed in. It's a little bit more money, but I've found an experience. It works really well for like an overseed. So good stuff. Doing okay. Hope feeling a bit better. Yeah. Let us know how everybody's doing. Let's see. Yes. And happy early Easter as well, says Paulina. Yes, Easter Sunday is this Sunday. And so I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend this weekend. I appreciate that, Blondie. Please hit the big thumbs up. Another channel everybody should check out, Blondie's Adventure. Some great videos over there as well. And Blondie, I haven't been able to, I don't attend, I'll be honest with you, I almost don't attend hardly anybody's live stream these days. I am just absolutely busy with work and family. And things going on. I just don't have the luxury of time, but I believe you do have live streams on your channel. So anybody, everybody should check it out. We enjoyed spring for 5 days last week, back to winter conditions. Yeah, there must be something coming down from Antarctica or something, the whole US, because like I said, we're going to get that. It's going to be cold here as well. And so, yeah, we are going, somebody says, you guys know people's names and even I don't, like, that's crazy. Like Jeremy, Bob, all these people. I'm sorry. I don't know everybody's by first name, but I go by the handle. We are going to be grandparents. Yes, I remember that. And congratulations again. I know that's super exciting. We ourselves had a youngin last year, so we have a baby, and it's life's an adventure. And congratulations to you. Hope that you have just a wonderful time. I may leave the chat, but I will be back on later. No problem. Going to get the first shot of fertilizer tomorrow. Need to put it down before the ground hits 50 degrees. Yeah, so here's the deal that I found. So normally what I do is I put down crabgrass preventer in March, because that needs to go down before while the grass is still kind of dormant, and it really does help counteract the weeds in crabgrass. The problem with that stuff is it'll also kill seedlings. So I like to overseed because parts of my lawn are newer. And so I didn't want to put down the crabgrass preventer and then put the grass seed down, because I think that I had that happen one year, and it killed it. It prevented the seedlings from going. So I actually have some unwanted kind of start to some weeds in my yard because it's been warm, because I haven't gone with the typical regiment. But I'm going with this overseed mix, and it should be nice. Yes, and I hope you have a joyous time later this year with your grandchild. It's because I'm going on a trip later in the week, so the weather has to get cold, right? Yeah, a lot of people are going to be traveling. It's that time of the year, spring break for a lot of families that have kids coming up, and the falls will not be frozen. Are you headed to the? I obviously Foxy knows where you're going. Hope's asking where you're going. Yeah, if you feel like it, let us know where you're headed. If you'd like to. Niagara Falls, very cool. I mentioned the other week, I haven't been there since I was it's been over 20 years since I've been there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just don't live in that part of the country, so it's not convenient like it is for you. We went to the Canadian side, and it was like, I mean, it's been over 20 years, but if I recall, there was some elements of like a Gatlinburg there. You had, and small street, you could walk around. They had the casino, and there was like a lot of attractions and little, just niche kind of, one-off areas and stuff. I don't even really know it that well anymore. I guess I could pull it up on YouTube. We got some flowers coming up here in Indiana. Yeah, we've got the daffodils coming up. They kind of grow wild in the mountains here, so you see a lot of them. They actually the green sprouts will start coming up in January, which I'm always like, what is going on? We're going to have snow. It's going to be cold. But then they come up and they're absolutely beautiful. You can cut them and bring them in the house, and then they more and more grow all over the yard. It is really nice. Yeah, Lily says if you're headed up that way, you're going to get some of that cold. Yeah, a little closer. And I've heard that always, that the Canadian side is better than the American side. 5-1, it's just better. It's more entertainment. I'm not so sure what's on the American side. I know there were some restaurants and such, but it seems like it plays second fiddle to what's on the Canadian side. So no, Niagara Falls is a place I would love to get. But it'd probably be something if I was up in Ohio or the Northeast for an extended period of time, where be able to head up through Erie, Buffalo, and then up there to Niagara Falls. Normally I'd come to fly to or Ontario and come meet you, Larry, but we're contained to our Atlantic bubble and cannot travel. Yeah, and on the optimistic front, I really hope that we're getting, as they say, it's kind of the final inning of this craziness we've been going through in the last year, and hopefully it begins to subside, and the summer reveals something more traditional, I would say, as far as people being able to travel and all that stuff. I've got the mosquitoes out in swarms. Ouch already. That's a cool emoji. I've not seen that one before. That does appear to be some kind of insect. I'll tell you what, I don't like. Who likes mosquitoes? I mean, when I was growing up in Ohio, they were bad. Florida, they were bad. Here in the mountains, it's weird. They got replaced by something else that'll bite you, but it's not like a mosquito bite, but it's like an irritating bite. And so usually don't get mosquitoes at the higher elevations, it seems, but you get something else that bites, and I don't know what it is. And I'm like, what are these things? So yeah, mosquitoes are no fun. Then there's places that like Minnesota and up there that, in the summer can have horrible mosquitoes as well. Yeah, everybody, oh, my mouse is so slow. Something must be going on. Canadian side, much better as well. Gonna check out Erie to Presque Isle. Yeah, Presque Isle State Park. Been there many a times as a child, and unfortunately, you won't be able to go swimming because it's too cold right now, but it'll still be pretty. Last time I was out there again, which it's been probably 15 or 20 years, it was a great place to swim in the summer once it warmed up because they had invested a lot of money. I assume they're still there 20 years ago, large rock kind of barriers that would prevent the kind of rough surf from the lake to come in, which made it very favorable to swim. I really enjoyed it. I would love to take the family up there too. And prior to entering Presque Isle was Waldemere Amusement Park, which is kind of like, I don't know how big it is anymore, but I don't know, Larry, if you're ever down in Columbus, like back in the day, they used to be Wyandotte Lake. It's not like a Cedar Point or a Kings Island. It's kind of like that next tier down, but still like a good little regional park. That was a lot of fun. I don't know when that opens, but Waldemere was a blast. I used to go there all the time. Yeah, a lot of folks like the Canadian side. Keep the nasty mosquitoes away. Nobody likes them. Hope says the Outer Banks is beautiful as well. Everybody should go sometime in the future. Yes, I hear everybody rave about it. I still, growing up, was always, a fan favorite of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which I do have some videos on my channel of. So if somebody's here watching and hasn't seen them, check them out. They're in a playlist. I do like Myrtle Beach quite a bit, and there's a lot of entertainment. You guys have heard me say, we've got the crowd here that's typically here, but Myrtle Beach is basically it's like Pigeon Forge at the coast. A lot of the shows and the go-karts and the shopping and the theaters and the entertainment, put it on the beach. So if you like Pigeon Forge in the mountains, then you go to Myrtle Beach. They're the same thing. Now, Outer Banks is a little more tranquil, quiet, peaceful, and beautiful. So yeah. Indiana is bad with mosquitoes. It says a traveling Hoosier. Yeah. I know in Ohio, it was, the humidity in the Midwest really gets you in the summer. I think the other fact of it too is that the Midwest has a more extreme winter. So the humidity hits twice as hard because people aren't acclimated to it. When I lived in Florida, it was humid all year long. I mean, serious humidity. It's the tropics. And so, even inside the house, it's hard to keep the humidity down. I had a humidity gauge, even running the air conditioning, drawing moisture out. We would even use a dehumidifier separately to pull moisture out of the air sometimes because it's just so thick. But you get used to it. And actually, I would start to have more of an issue breathing in dry climates, like if I would fly out to like Vegas or Phoenix or something like that. Presque Isle has a nice lighthouse. You were there years ago, either Presque Isle or Waldemere. I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah. I got 4 cans of flying insect spray going already. Now I got to go get wasp spray building on my front porch. And those are some stinkers I don't like right there, like mud daubers, wasp, bees, the European hornets, all that kind of stuff. No, thank you. Don't like them. I don't want any of that stuff. Yeah. No, please no. Have you guys ever seen, I don't like to watch the shows, but every once in a while I was flipping back in the day and you'd see somebody like at a house or maybe an exterminator, or maybe it was a bee show or something. And they go in somebody's backyard that had a bunch of junk and they'd lift up some wood pallet, be out in New Mexico, Arizona or something like that, where the bees were. They'd lift up a wood pallet. There'd be like a scorpion, a centipede, a beehive nest, like black widows, all kinds of crazy stuff. Man, those people, they're brave. That's crazy. Yeah, something a little more peaceful. The dolphins in the Outer Banks. They're beautiful. We used to see dolphins quite a bit in the intercoastal in Florida. You could see manatee, you could see dolphins. People would go fishing. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Larry'd like to check out the Outer Banks. I want to say Special thanks to everyone for the prayers on behalf of me and my family the past few weeks. Yes, and we can have those continued prayers for you. You know, you were talking about some health issues, so we do hope that you are on, a path of getting better, and things are going better for you. My yard isn't bad with mosquitoes, but down the road at my friend's place is awful every year. Yeah, especially if you get some water or anything around the area. Parts of the province here today had high winds that actually blew roofs off homes as well as other damage. All flights canceled and the ferry service halted. Very high winds. That's nuts. That's pretty severe to have that. You know, it's kind of deceiving because, you know, the focus down in Florida is always, you know, hurricanes, hurricane force wind, but hurricane force winds can happen at other places. They're just not associated with, you know, a twirling mass of, dangerous rains at the same time. And they can wreak havoc. I mean, just case in point, what happened in Gatlinburg with the fires in 2017, and I believe 16 or 17. The fires were going up there at chimney tops, but then those hurricane force winds came in and were just awful for that situation, blowing the fire everywhere and created the tragedy that it ended up being. So yeah. No mosquitoes though. That's good. At least no mosquitoes, but you got roofs blowing off, but no mosquitoes. Yeah. Hope you're safe. Yeah. The winds blew all the mosquitoes away. So how was everybody's weekend? Mine was pretty good. I ended up going over to, I spent a bunch of time on Friday detailing my Mustang to take it over to Sevierville to go to a car show called Ponies in the Smokies. So the Mustang is, referred to as a pony car. Ponies in the Smoking. It was a Mustang car show. I spent about 6 hours after work on Friday detailing my car. Went over there with a buddy to the car show, and the weather was the pits. I knew it was going to be bad. They were calling for 90% chance of rain. I was hoping for some way it would blow by. There were a bunch of cars in the convention center there, the Sevierville Convention Center. And so it's kind of cool. Y'all probably passed by it because it's near, I think it's Soaky Mountain. It's right next to the water park. And so you come in off 40 South through Sevierville, and it's out there at the Sevierville Convention Center. But a ton of the show cars were inside. So when it started pouring rain and lightning, we all went inside. But all that work I had done, all the other cars that weren't the main show cars were parked out in this large parking lot, and for the car show, and it just, the cars got all soaking wet. But we still had a good time. And I'll jump down to this comment. Where did you get your interest in Mustangs? From my mother. She used to have a Mustang. And if you want to be cool again, Mom, you got to get another Mustang. Just joking. But yeah, I forget what year Mustang yours was. You can refresh my memory. Was it like a 70 or 71? I forget what year. I know it was like a butterscotch color, right? You have to let me know. But yeah, I love the Mustang, and I know that Mom has a passion for him too, and enjoys the pony cars. So you would have probably enjoyed the car show. It was pretty cool. It was neat going over there. I'll show a picture in a few minutes. My buddy, he has a seriously awesome Mustang. He spent 3 years building it with another guy. It's a 1969 Mustang with a 2014 Mustang engine in it. It's quite incredible. A lot of custom fabrication, all new electronics, but it is a true 1969 Mustang body, not like a kit car or something like that. And so it gets a lot of eyes on it in the show. It was in a magazine, Street Scene, not that long ago. And so that was super cool. Hey, Rita, welcome to the live stream. I was wondering if you were coming, just finishing up supper. How is everyone? We're doing well. I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week and a nice Monday, just talking a little bit about the weekend. I also hope that the locusts don't come. Yes, the good question. So I'll tell you a couple stories about Mustangs. Even though this is not the Eclectic Handyman channel, but just general chat. When I was 16, I really, really wanted a Mustang. But the thing is that at that time in the 90s, the Mustang didn't have the saturation of number of cars on the road that it does now. There are oodles and oodles because of all the years of production and the quality cars that still are out there. There are a bazillion Mustangs, but back in the 80s and 90s, they're really, first of all, the 60s and 70s Mustangs, those have always been in favor, but the 70s Mustangs, the Mustang II, were junk. And then the early 80s Mustangs weren't that great either. So now, you're talking mid 90s, and there's about 7 or 8 years of Mustangs I would have liked, and they were all sought after and expensive. So one was expensive, but even if I could have found a used one, called the insurance company, and the lady, I said, I want to know how much the insurance is for a Mustang, theoretically, I'm 16-year-old male. She goes, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "For a V8, it'll be $3,600 a year." And I said, "What about the 4-cylinder?" Which I didn't have any interest in, but I asked. They had a 4-cylinder back then. And she said 2,800. Well, pick either one of those numbers, 2,800 or 3,600. Even today in 2021, that's a lot for one car per year. But when you're 16, that amount of money is about like $50,000 now. So I just couldn't afford it. And so I ended up getting a Honda Prelude, and that was my first car, which was still expensive, the insurance, but quite a bit less. So I was never able to get a Mustang. And then I had a V6 for a bunch of years when I started working, and I just couldn't, quite get into something better. And then finally I said, now, enough. Like, I'm going to get, kind of the car I want. And I got a Cobra. I could probably change that car and upgrade, but I put so much work into it that I don't want to, I don't feel like trading it out. So I stay with my 2001 Mustang Cobra. Rita says it rained for 24 hours, a lot of flooding. A lot of people had their basements flooded. I know somebody I work with from Nashville had, like a camper in a field or something that just got flooded. A lot of flooding going on. I hope things are okay your way. Mom said she had a 1969 Mustang. Yes, that's very cool. Very, very, very cool. Yes, no, I don't want to restart. Goodness, this little pop out came and it says to restart, and I almost clicked it. That'd have been a short live stream. Yes, prayers for a friend that isn't feeling well. Absolutely. I hope things again are on the up and up for you. Hey, Brian Fisher, hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Rita had a 65 Mustang once. That's also cool. So mom had the 69, Rita has a 65. Yeah. Really anything from 64 and a half to about 71 were highly sought after cars. 72 to 79, not as much. They really, after the oil embargo and such and the horsepower crunch, they went down to, they tried to make it almost a luxury car. Anybody, if I've ever heard of the Mustang Ghia, didn't even look like a sports car. I'm talking about like 1974, 75. But they went with the times and they went with what they thought they needed to do. In fact, I've read some articles that said if it wasn't for the Mustang II, even though it's thought to have been a junk bunch of years, technically it kept that model going. So Larry here mentions the 78 Camaro, now my 2010 Camaro. There have been cars that have done stretches where the production line has stopped because they just didn't do well enough. So nod to the folks at Ford for being able to stay consistent since 1964 and a half, 1965. 90 degrees here, very hot. You are back in summertime temps. Hey, Jennifer Rathbone, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Foxy says, finding out about this great party happening Mondays, make sure to go and boop, boop, don't hit your thumb with the hammer. Smash the thumbs up on YouTube, ring that bell. You get your special invitation every Monday by Mr. Mountain himself. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody here doesn't get the bell, notifications. Seems to be most of the folks, but, it is helpful. The other thing is I have been using the community posts. So if you open up YouTube and you're subscribed, you should see my notification about when I'm going to go on. And it's roughly about the same time every week. Seems like I'm hitting between 8 and 9 o'clock. And I was right on time tonight between that time frame. By the time I get dinner and have spent time with the kids and, finish up everything, this is about the time. I do know that I have a little bit less of a crowd. I have noticed that if I go on about 7:30 Eastern, it's a little bit better, but that's just a little bit early for me. Is anybody in West Coast time or Mountain time here? Because technically coming on at 9:30, not technically, 9:30, 6:30, West Coast. So, it's not that bad. Brian says, I rebuilt 67 convertible fully. That is super cool as well. So we got a 65, a 67, 69. Mustangs had some really bad models, but I wasn't a fan of the 90s Camaro either. Now, here's the thing. Those Fox body 80s to 90s Mustangs and the Camaros from the 80s and 90s are the car of my childhood. That style of car looks boxy and looks ugly. My wife can't stand the Fox body Mustangs, but it's what I grew up with. So I like them. Like for me, like a 1993 Mustang GT or LX 5.0 or something with that pushrod engine and black, is a sweet looking car. The thing that holds me back from ever getting too nostalgic about those is the interior of those cars were pitiful for a sports car. They looked like a sedan, like an Oldsmobile or something. I mean, no sports gauges, cloth seats, not even an option for leather. Just maybe leather outside trim in the early 80s, but they were all, even the 93 Cobra. I'm probably boring some of you guys on that stuff, but, bleeding the lines between Eclectic Candyman and over here. But that's what I did this weekend. I went over there to the Smokies and I saw the Mustang car show. And it was cool. I'll show you some pictures in a couple minutes here. Video and audio are looking good tonight. Thank you. I did my homework. I got everything done. It is like an act of Congress around here to get everybody to shut off every single device. I am crossing my fingers that my Starlink kit will show up someday. They keep launching more and more satellites out in outer space. So whenever it's going to be one that's going to over and over have to, path over North Carolina that they can get, maybe I'll get some better internet. Fox said I had a Mustang Fastback with a 302, my first car, actually. That is super cool. There were a lot of there were like Boss 302s there. They had a lot. That the 302, the 550 is a what year was it, Foxy? I'd be interested to know if you know, or even roughly. Yeah, nice car. Mine was a 71 Le Mans. All right, that's awesome. I did not understand why all the guys wanted to drive it. It's a cool car. Nearly 10:45. I have an early morning. I'm going to say goodnight, Mr. Mountain Man. Great seeing you. Good night, everyone. Chat, be safe. You as well, Lily. Hope you have a wonderful, safe, happy, and great week and Easter as well. My first car was a 77 Toyota Corolla. One of the things about that car is that really was you could say a revolutionary car and period. Toyota and Honda were making things happen. The American car industry was saying, we can continue to make road boats and, big cars, and that's what we want. But the imports came in with the tiny cars, the better gas mileage, and really started to push the American and domestic car manufacturers. Then what was it? The CAFE standards and a lot of stuff going on in the late 70s, early 80s, if I have my timelines correct. And so a lot of the companies struggled, and a lot of the early compact cars in the American models, some of you may have had them, were junk. Some of the Chryslers, some of the Fords, just really problematic issues with automatic transmissions, really junky cars, poor quality. So yeah, thankfully today, I think most car manufacturers make a real quality car. Did you get the microwave fixed? Great question. I took the microwave out of the cabinet yesterday. I had the parts, the little switches in the door. There's 3 of them. Okay. So any of you who have a microwave, when you shut your microwave and the little latches go in, There are multiple switches to let the microwave know that it's closed and it can turn on, and safety switches and stuff. One of the three turned out to be bad. You could tell right away. I took it apart, and the three switches are in this plastic case about that long. It's this weird looking plastic case, and there's three switches in it. All I needed to do was remove the three switches from the plastic casing, put the new switches in, and reassemble. Here's the problem. What happens to plastic that gets 15 years old? Just like in a car, in a hot car. It gets brittle and it gets old. You have to press these tabs down, so bend plastic, to remove the switch. The very first tab I push down, snap. Goodness gracious. All right. So I start getting on the computer looking. I have my model number, going to repair clinic, going to Parts Doctor, Amazon, eBay, price comparing, checking out all these things. Long story, half long. That darn plastic piece ended up costing me $36 extra. I mean, whatever, $36, but it's just a shame because there was nothing wrong with it. It's just if it wouldn't have broke. And guess what? The first switch, the little tab broke. The other two came out just fine. So could I have glued that piece of plastic back with my JB Weld? Maybe. But here's the problem. As you all know, if those switches don't work, you can have the microwave be turning on, or at least look like it's on when the door is open. That's scary, because those microwaves are horrible for a person. The door needs to be shut. Now, whether or not it was actually turning on the magnetron or not, the safety switches hopefully worked. The point being, I didn't want to glue that plastic piece in place, holding the switch to have that break back off and the switch to go cattywampus in there and then not work and then have an issue because I tried to save $35. So I'm waiting on that plastic casing. The microwave is sitting on a shelf or a counter. Meanwhile, we have this little tiny one. I told you guys, some of you have been here when we were having some other work, or the last time it was being fixed. And we had some kitchen stuff going on. I bought a small microwave, brand new, off of Facebook Marketplace locally for like $27 or something ridiculous. Like it was awesome. And now having that second microwave is great because it broke. We just pulled it up from storage and we had a microwave. But that little thing takes forever to cook something. I put a reheat dinner in it. Okay, this is something in a normal microwave that takes like 3 minutes. It took 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the microwave to cook a dinner plate, a frozen reheat dinner plate thing. So it's a piece of junk. So I'm looking forward to fixing my microwave. But yeah, that was what was happening with all that. You as well, Blondie. Have a blessed night and hope you have a wonderful week. Yes, and happy Easter, Lily. Appreciate it. No AC, no air conditioning in my car. Yes, very typical of older cars, not to have air conditioning as an upgrade. I got mine in the late 60s. I got it in 78. Too bad you didn't have that. That's a sweet car right there. A 302, late 60s with a 302 in it. Mom had a Miata about 15 years ago. Guys, the grocery would ask where my husband was, if I could drive a manual. That's not giving a good name to the gentleman out there, but I'm sure that probably, I remember you telling stories about that. Of all the cars that my mom had growing up, so it was a station wagon, but then after that, there was a series of sports cars. It went from I might be off a year or two on the model years, but I'm pretty close. She had a black 1988 Toyota MR2. And then the next car was a black 1993 Mitsubishi 3000 GT. And then the next car after that was a 1996 Ford Contour SXT. I think it was the top of the line one. It had the manual. And then after that, I was gone to college and gone. And then it was the Miata. There might have been I can't remember if there was a gap between the Contour and the Miata. My favorite of those four cars, if I had to put them in order, was definitely, I like a bigger sports car. I like a pig on the road. I'm more of a Mustang, Camaro, Dodge Challenger. But so if that's that bunch, the 3000 GT. My second favorite, although I never got to drive it, probably would have been the Toyota MR2. I always thought that was a super cool car. It had those lines like the Mustang. The problem with that car, and I know why I was never going to get it, it had a mid-engine rear engine. Basically, they call it mid-engine, but so the front was just an empty boot, and so it was not a super safe car. But the 3000 GT was pretty cool car. I still think that's a really, really neat car. Paulina Maria says she's going to hop off of here. Hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping in. Living Like Larry, Google Joe Root, Prescal per your dad. Okay, Joe Root. Yeah, check that out. Living Like Larry loved the MR2. Yeah, that was a cool car. It was basically a competitor for the Pontiac Fiero. They were very similar cars. Can you believe that? I am all caught up. Can you also believe this is episode 68? That is crazy. That is like really, really, really cool. That's 68 episodes with a few breaks in between, but not many of that. Not many breaks. Mom said that the rear car, that was the 3000 GT, swung over the place, but loved it. Yeah. You know, and especially being in Ohio, because Ohio, central Ohio, it's not the mecca of like horrible winters, but it could every few years have a doozy, and it just doesn't make it great. You know, when you have to commute downtown or somewhere like that to work and you're living in the suburbs. So it was, you know, fun, but also came at a cost. You know, where I've lived, like in Florida and North Carolina, I've been privy to, you know, good weather and been able to have a motorcycle and Mustangs and, you know, cool stuff like that. Hey, let me get over to some housekeeping. Oh, first of all, let me share my Instagram, Mr. Mountain_man, if you haven't seen that before. And I think everybody has. I actually really would like to get Twitter back, even for the few followers I have, because there are articles and news and things that I would like to post throughout the week. But I don't really have a means to do that anymore. So I might just break down and just forget about the old account and just make a new one. We'll see. Let's see. There were a couple comments. And thank you, Paulina, for coming. Really appreciate it and hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful Easter. Your mom was cooler than mine. She drove a Pacer before Wayne's World. Yeah. Well, they made it cool. And then they put the Bohemian Rhapsody in it. And they also made Queen have a resurgence after that. According to some of the documentaries, believe it or not, Wayne's World, when they put that tape in and we're singing in the car. If you like house tips and ideas, tools, and how to store them, check out Mr. Mountain Man Alter Ego channel at the Eclectic Candyman. Yes. And that channel has had some, you know, some new videos and such coming to it. I don't do live streams over there, but I do. It's kind of the case of two worlds, because over here I don't have as many videos, but I have live streams weekly. Over there I have a bunch of videos, but I don't do live streams. You can't put those on the community. I could put it in the community. I absolutely could. I've thought about that, Larry. Like, there's a lot of things I could put there. I could put pictures. I kind of wanted to use community for like announcements related to the channel specifically. Like, hey guys, new video, check it out. Or what do you guys think about between, vote on the next video, or, hey, here's when the live stream is going to be, very specific to the channel, because that seems the culture of how YouTube creators use the community option. Maybe others are doing it differently. That's what I've witnessed. So I kind of wanted to adhere to that. And then I could use Twitter for, hey, here's a great article to read. I'm sure I could I haven't tried actually posting a link, to be honest with you, within there, but yeah, it might be a possibility. So let's go back over to, this is housekeeping for the week of March 28th, 2021. As far as this channel itself, I don't have anything immediately in the hopper, but I will get to, I know it's been a little while since Chimney Rock video. Again, same story, different week. Have the weekly live streams, been focusing a little bit on the Eclectic Handyman, but just have a lot going on. So I will do videos as I can get to them. It seems like my record is about 2 a month, and at the worst, it's like once every 3 months. So thankfully for the live streams, we can stay in touch. Let me go ahead and share the some of the pictures, which I did have a couple here from over here at the car show. Let me see when it comes up. Yeah, here we go. Nothing. It's crazy because this week I'm Mr. Mountain Man. I didn't post any pictures of the mountains, although the weather has been kind of the pits. To be honest with you, today was beautiful. I've had a couple of really beautiful days, like the day I went to Dollywood a week and a half ago, or a week and a couple of days ago, but not recently. Friday was tremendous, delicious day, like 75 degrees, super beautiful. The day I detailed the car, but not since then. Yep. So here's a car show. Speaking of the Mustang 2, these two right here in the foreground, these are the Mustang 2. That Cobra right there that I'm pointing to, that's actually an extremely weak car. It's like 130 horsepower. It's a 1976, I believe, Cobra. This was one of my favorite cars. This was I believe, 1970 Mach 1. I don't know, Foxy, I think she's still here. I believe that had the 302 in it. I don't remember exactly. Loved that car. That was just a newer Mustang that had a super cool paint job. That was, I think it's a GT500. You can see the Cobra on there. So that was cool. Here was another picture. So you could see from the inside. So here's the deal. I couldn't decide before the car show what I wanted to do to make a video about it. And I also couldn't decide between Mr. Mountain Man and the Eclectic Handyman. But I did, two things ended up happening. One is I did decide it was more applicable to the Eclectic Handyman because the types of things I would have wanted to talk on the video, which I can tell out of the corner of my eye, haven't been super popular with everyone tonight because I've watched some people leave the live stream when I start talking about engines and cars and stuff like that. And I know a few of you really enjoy it. I certainly enjoy it, but it's, so that's the channel for this kind of thing. I did take video, but I didn't take video with audio. One of the big reasons is because in that convention center, they were playing a lot of popular music. Like I heard Journey and Boston and Guns N' Roses and some other stuff. There's no way I could have made that video without getting, just completely whacked by YouTube for it. So it'll be a first, and it'll probably be a while, but obviously the equipment here, but that would have to be, I have to create that and do a voiceover video. So I kind of, it's kind of new to me, but I basically took the video while I was saying in my head what I would have said. So I have the cadence and the timing, and then I'll be able to, hopefully put that video out sometime in the next, month. I'm not going to commit to anything faster than that because that's going to take a little bit of work. So that was pretty cool. And then that's my car. I took a picture of the engine. You can see up in the corner all the raindrops on the car. And I had spent quite a bit of time cleaning up the engine the night before. And so it was, I got some people that stopped by and were looking at it. So it showed nicely. And then here you go. Yesterday, I said, no, it's not July 4th, just Sunday night grilling, burgers and corn on the cob. I did not need to capitalize cob. But yeah, so that was the first corn on the cob of the year. I've been looking for it at the grocery. Guess what? $1 an ear. I mean, that is crazy. In the height of summer, it'll be 10 cents an ear. So $1 an ear, I still bought it. It was delicious. I don't know where it was grown. Who has corn that's in season, whether it's imported or somewhere out west, some warm climate obviously has some. And so, yes, looks good. Want to grill out even if it ever stops raining. Yes, over there in Nashville. So, and Chris said, did I save him some? And said, yes, always. And the burgers were Angus. They tasted really good. So, yeah, I got to get some pictures of the mountains for you guys. Sorry. Let's see what everybody is saying here. Yeah, the pacer was awful. Yep. Get a laugh there. Larry's mom had a Mustang. Yeah, grilled food, my favorite part. I always try to remember on Sunday if I'm grilling out to snap a picture, or anytime that I'm grilling out. After that, I got my grandma an '05 Saturn that was in '98, and now I have my dad's '08 Jeep Liberty. Nice. Yeah, my sister had one of those Saturns, my other sister, and they lasted a long, long time. Metallic blue. I don't know why my mouse is so slow. That's a beautiful color. Yes, a beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I think this is like I grew up collecting baseball cards, and it seems like baseball cards and Mustangs, for some reason, back in the 50s, 60s, nobody wanted to keep them. And if they'd have just kept both, they could have probably had a small start to retirement. Keep a Mickey Mantle and a '68 Mustang, GT350 or something like that. You'd be well on your way. That'd have been worth going just for the music. Was that in reference to, I think in reference to all the music I was rattling off about Journey, Boston, and all that? It was great music. It was classic rock. It was fantastic. If I'm connecting the dots right to your comment, Rita, at the car show. What's your horsepower in that? So my car has is naturally aspirated. It does not have blower. It has long tube hooker headers on it. It has exhaust, intake manifold spacer, 90 millimeter mass airflow, AccuFab throttle body, custom tune, MSD wires, a bunch of stuff in it. Stock from that 4.6 modular has 320 horsepower. I have not had it dynoed with those long tube headers, X pipe, and all that other stuff. It's probably 360, 370 ish, 375. It's pretty good. The car sounds really, really good too, with those headers. Hey, Hope Faith, glad you're back. Hope you're doing well. Yes. Hey, Loggy Doggy, welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a great Monday, a nice start to your week. Yes, at the car show, the music, it was great. But it made it better. I was also there with some newer friends of mine, and the YouTube thing. I also didn't want to be rude, so I didn't have an exact game plan. I figured if people were sitting around for a while, I might duck out for 20 or 25 minutes and cut some video. I had the gimbal, but I didn't use it on the actual shot, so we'll have to see how shaky it is. I haven't done a raw video with the phone without the gimbal in a while. That's going to be over on the Eclectic Candyman, so that'll come out eventually. Everybody's saying howdy. A Mickey Mantle card recently sold for $5.2 million. Yeah, if you get one of those PSA 10 Mickey Mantles, which is like perfectly cut, pristine, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about collector's cards. You could have a brand new one, like you find an old pack and nobody's ever touched it and it comes out. But if it's a misaligned cut, the way it's centered with the border from the factory, which has no fault of the owner, it can downgrade that 10 rating to a 7 or an 8. Sometimes they're even have a little bit of a corner issue in the package. It's crazy. Not too shabby at all in the horsepower. Yeah. I mean, the car is quick and it sounds really good. Like, I mean, that 4-valve, dual overhead cam hand-built motor. So the Cobras had hand-built motors out of Dearborn. They're great. It's a great car. It's a fun car. It's a very reasonable car. Not the 0304, which was called the Terminator, which has a supercharger from the factory from Ford, very sought after car. Mine's an 01, was prior to that. You can get my car for, depending on how many miles, anywhere between $6,000 and $13,000. I mean, think about that. Everybody, you're driving the brand of a Mustang Cobra for a more reasonable price than you could go out and get a sedan these days. But anyway, that was the fun I had there at the car show and with the cooking out yesterday. So I'll be sure to share some more pictures, especially since it's getting beautiful. The trees are blooming. When I headed over there to Tennessee, you were getting a lot of yellows, pinks, and bright greens in the trees from blooming, especially at the lower elevations. It's really beautiful right now. even with all the rain that was happening. It's really pretty. But in the higher elevations, the trees are just starting to have little buds on it. So Mr. Mountain Man's car is wildly wonderful. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like my Mustang, and I still work on it. Still have some things. I'm considering maybe doing some crane cams in it to give it that lopey idle, but it's kind of an expensive upgrade. So we'll have to see if I actually end up doing that or not. Let's get to the news and notes for the week of March 28th, 2021. I'm kind of disappointed. I love everybody that's here, but I'm kind of disappointed I don't have a bigger crowd because I was kind of looking forward to the news tonight. I was hoping Smoky Mountain Hiker might be here and a couple others, but you get what you get, and it's part of it is my fault because look at the time. East Coast 9:37. A lot of people got to work and wake up at 5, and so don't have as many folks. But let's go ahead and get over to that. Let me go ahead and share that, and let's take a look at what I'm kind of excited about, or it was interesting. Whatever. I don't know. I like these articles. Oh, goodness. I didn't have the right one up. Here we go. Chug, 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 chug. All right. Maybe give it a second to catch up. Sorry for the delay. I don't know why it's so slow. Hopefully my video and audio are still good. That was a bad indication that it was so slow. Let me try this again. Share. There we go. Yay! All right. So as we talk about from time to time here on the Mr. Mountain Man channel, oh, I'm reading a text message from my dad. He sent during the live stream. I guess if you're still here, he said, I heard a Presque Isle reference on the live stream. Google Joe Root Presque Isle. He was a hermit who lived on Presque Isle, but was placed in the Warren Asylum to prevent him from claiming squatters' rights. Sounds like an interesting story. I wonder if they have a book about it or anything. Anyway, that's interesting. I will have to look that up. Thank you for sending that. Let me go back to the slides. This is a big deal. We talk about ghost town in the sky. So here's something that's not a rumor. This is an actual article from the Smoky Mountain News. It's kind of long. Let me read you the high points here. Sorry, I was just reading quickly through the comments to see if anything. Okay. Can I have a drink of water? Ghost town developers reach a major milestone. In another encouraging sign of progress, ownership of the land upon which Maggie Valley's Ghost Town in the Sky amusement park sit has been transferred to developers, clearing the way for work to begin on the complex, multifaceted redevelopment project. Ooh, aha. That's cool. The 5 parcels that make up the bulk of the shuttered amusement park total nearly 250 acres and have an assessed value of more than $5 million. Haywood County land records show that in mid-March, registration was changed to another entity, Ghost Town in the Sky, LLC. Wonder how they got that name. You would have thought that would have been taken from eons ago from the original. Maybe it got whatever. Developers have been speaking exclusively with the Smoky Mountain News since October 2019 about the project, which is estimated to bring more than $200 million in investment to Maggie Valley over the course of the next decade. Less than a month ago, developers told the Smoky Mountain News about elaborate plans for the much beloved, long-shuttered amusement park that first opened in the early 1960s. Those plans, here's the good stuff, include a complete rehabilitation of the town's iconic Main Street to include niche retail and residential units in the style of Biltmore Village, as well as a new hotel located in the west end of the parking lot at the base of Buck Mountain. But the concept for the project is much more than a simple facelift of the mountaintop park where luminaries like Burt Reynolds once performed live action gunfights in keeping with the park's Western theme. Developers say there are several affiliated projects currently underway that are intended to support the revitalized ghost town, its guests, and its 200-person workforce. 200-person workforce. That's great. Great for the town over there. A number of affordable housing units are in development elsewhere in Maggie Valley, so outside, and a manufacturing facility that would construct modular homes, bringing more jobs, is planned for another site somewhere in the county. In addition, there's ways to bring restaurants, a grocery store, and an urgent care facility to town. That's in Maggie Valley, not up there, up top. There's also an adornment in the works, a large cross near the top of the mountain. I like the idea of the cross because it's a symbol that I believe in, and I think there's a lot of people here in this part of North Carolina that are true believers as well, said one developer, speaking in anonymously. As a little kid coming up here, I enjoyed Ghost Town, and I think that's something that means a lot to me. We're already in the engineering part of it, and we're hoping very soon that construction will get started on the cross. The cross won't be the only new addition to the park. Developers envision a multi-level experience comprised of separate but related worlds for guests to explore as they venture up the mountain. To help with the design, planning, and fabrication of the reimagined park, developers have enlisted Storyland Studios, whose chief innovation officer is Matt Ferguson, a Disney alum who owns a home in Maggie Valley. His business is based around theme parks and design work. The company is well recognized inside and outside the country. They know what they're doing. I think this company would be one of the best companies to work with, and not just because he's local and wants to see it happen. Ferguson and his family have a long history in Maggie Valley, and he's a partner in the recently opened Route 19 Inn, not far from the entrance to Ghost Town. Storyland Studios is a group of former Disney Imagineers, Pixar animators, and other creative professionals that specialize in storytelling through the strategic, spatial, and digital means. Ferguson said that they've been involved in a number of high-profile projects over the years. We master plan theme parks, we design the storylands for those theme parks, and then we manage the projects and lead the completion of the parks, bringing together the different resources we need, whether it's ride engineers or architects or whatever. Previous work by Storyland includes Hogwarts Express Train for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios and other projects for Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, which owns a number of North American amusement parks, including Carowinds and Charlotte. Our plan is to bring back Ghost Town the Sky as an amusement park, and we want it to have all the good things we remember about it, with better attractions and entertainment than ever. Whoa! So that's pretty cool. Now, if Smoky Mountain Hiker was here, I saw there was a comment that said he was working. He would say, I'll believe it when I see it, which I understand. I think he said that last time, because there has been a lot of like this, we're going to do it. And then when, people pay for architecture plans and neat renderings and drawings, but when they see really how much it's going to cost, I think it's been a big deterrent. So am I pessimistic? No. Am I optimistic? Yes. I think it sounds really cool. The biggest thing about Ghost Town the Sky is getting up there. If you have bad weather or, high winds and you have to take that chairlift or it's freezing cold outside, that's not going to work that well. So, hey, Anakeesta's cool like that, to get up top. But I wonder if they're going to have an alternate way that you could drive up there, because I think that's what you absolutely need. If it's going to be more than just a theme park, especially if it has residential, you absolutely have to have a road up there. I know some of the comments are out of order, but let me catch up on them. Comment here from Loggy Doggy. Small bumper 7072 Mavericks are becoming collectible. Seems like everything comes full circle. I did not know that. Will the kids be going anywhere for egg hunt, or will that happen at home? Such a fun time for kids. Yeah, we usually do that at home, but you're right. Sometimes the neighborhood or church or something like that might have everybody has an egg hunt. They've been shy away from that the last year, because activities like that, just because of what's been going on. But we'll wait and see. I don't think there were any planned, but we definitely will do one at home. We put all the little eggs, hide them all over the place. And this was funny. I found one of those eggs like a month and a half ago that nobody found, with a piece of chocolate in it. I didn't eat it, but that was pretty funny. Chris About Teas is trying to put out more vlogs. Okay. Very cool. Plus spring break going on, probably why the numbers are down. Yeah. Well, I joke about it, but I think it's it stinks because I feel like it's underrated. I wish more folks would join the live stream and enjoy in the conversation. But I do have to take that as feedback as well. The percentage of folks that show up on Monday versus the number of subscribers that I have. I have to make sure that you all are enjoying, and that I'm not just filling up air in some routine that is not meaningful. But everybody who's here, I constantly get positive feedback. And so I know you all enjoy it, but I also want to make sure that, plenty of folks are enjoying it. So I do keep a little eye up on the corner and see if there's anything that I'm talking about that might draw the numbers back down, or if people get bored. My goal of it is try to, cover a lot of things for you guys to enjoy at night. And so on Monday night. So that's the goal, at least. I'll check it out after the stream. I don't know. Did he say he had to go? Or maybe I didn't. I'm not sure what that was a reference to. Hey, happy for it. Good night, guys, says Hope Faith. Oh, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week. And it was glad to have you here this evening. I figured that a hotel would be in the works. Yeah, me too. So if there's a hotel and residential, they're at now what they said, the base though, right? If I read that correctly. So if it's at the base of Buck Mountain, that means that would be at the bottom. So maybe it will be only the theme park up top. And then some of that mixed retail and residential would, or in, hotels and stuff would be at the bottom. Yeah, I guess time will tell us, but it is neat that, if there's actual people buying the land and getting it ready, it would be nice for the area if they could build something there before Maggie Valley turns into a ghost town. Great comment. Right on. I mean, that's the truth. Maggie Valley is a good still hot spot for motorcycles because it's not as crazy busy as like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. And we've talked ad nauseum about, the challenge they'll have. I mean, I went to Dollywood the other week and you've got Carowinds, they're sandwiched between two supreme theme parks. So it's not exactly like we're starved for that type of entertainment around here. So it's going to have to be niche. And having a Western town is exactly spot on because neither of those two places really have that theme. So if they can, and everybody likes a good roller coaster or a good theme ride. So if they really can make something happen and it's unique, then it'll work. Hey, Chad Lovelace. Hello, everyone. And Mr. Mountain Man, a little late, but better late than never. Absolutely. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here and hope work's going well. I know sometimes you have to work as well. I love Mondays here and all the conversations and what you bring to the table for us to learn about, enjoy. Well, I appreciate that, Foxy. And like I said, the folks that are here, the dozen to 20, always seem to be well vested and interested in it. I just want to continue to make sure it's, time well spent and worthwhile because it's a little bit of a sacrifice on my end because I take time out of the evening from the family and whatnot to do this. And I enjoy it. I just want to make sure that everybody is getting something out of it too. My Monday is on Friday. Monday. Oh, Friday starts your work week. Okay. So today's like what? Your Wednesday then? You're like is Monday hump day for you, Brian? Is like the middle of the week? Yeah. Yes. Something new every week. I'm glad. And that's what I wanted. Larry, what was the comment earlier about I'll catch it after the stream? Did I miss something? Let me know if there was something you missed or wanted to know about or something like that I didn't connect the dots to there. I'm looking through all the stuff here. Anyway. All right. Next story. Next story up. What do we have next? I love it when I don't even remember. Yes. Another theme on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. A lot of us have had great conversations around this. This article came from WLOS, which is the news channel here in Asheville, North Carolina. The Great Smokies cleanup scheduled for Tuesday. Volunteers needed. By the way, speaking of which, there are a boatload of people I have told you on Facebook, and I've heard in the wider YouTube verse of folks from Western North Carolina that have no idea this channel exists. I just don't know how to get, the name out there. I guess it's up to you guys. I guess that's why thumbs up and sharing and all that stuff matters on YouTube. But I will see people, like I told you, there's a group on Facebook for the Blue Ridge Mountains or something like that, and people ask questions like, where's a neat place to go near Mount Mitchell or something like that, or what's Little Switzerland about, or where's a nice place to go in Asheville, or, just things like that, or, what's Chimney Rock like, stuff like that. And I'm like, but I told you on that one particular channel, you're not allowed to advertise like links or your channels or anything. It can only be verbal. So, it's difficult. I think one time I snuck in there. I'm like, oh yeah, such and such is great. Try this, try that. I have a YouTube channel, Mr. Mountain Man or something like that, check it out, trying to get it in there. I don't think the post got deleted, but I know there's a lot of people from Western North Carolina that might enjoy some of these conversations. To that end, Great Smoky Mountains cleanup scheduled for Tuesday. Volunteers needed. Look at that bear right there looking at some trash on the road. Volunteers are needed. I don't know if this is going to be applicable to anybody here, but volunteers are needed for a cleanup effort in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The gateway to the Smokies cleanup will begin 9 a.m. Tuesday, March 30th. Okay, that's 11 hours from now. But so if anybody is over in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and wants to be a part of the cleanup, please do. The reason I bring this up is because we've had lots of good conversations about the issues that we see in the national parks, the kind of the sense of entitlement. This is my vacation and this, and I'm going to act, gross, and I'm going to carve in cabins and leave my trash in the parking lot and do this and that. That's, where another place that I mentioned that's terrible about that is the island at Pigeon Forge. I was there late one night with one of my kids and we were leaving. The parking lot was reminiscent of a NASCAR race when it's done. And what I mean by that, at NASCAR, it actually was acceptable. It's still probably not great, but you could leave, trash or cans and bags, and it was going to be come by and picked up by the, it was kind of part of the event. You tailgated, people would leave some stuff. They weren't super trashy. They'd tie it up, and the Boy Scouts would come around, pick up the cans. And, it was kind of a little more acceptable. So that's why I say reminiscent of it. Not at the island. There's no tailgating going on. I was walking by with like fast food cartons, spread out in the parking lot with cups of like milkshakes, like spilled. I'm just like, what crazy stuff. Like, anyway, people, I guess the world's their trash can. This back to the article. Over 10 million people travel this 5-mile scenic roadway between Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge each year to begin their visit to the park. Sadly, many motorists discard litter, food waste, and drink containers along the park road every day. Others irresponsibly contribute by allowing unsecured garbage and waste materials to blow out of their vehicles onto the roadway. With increasing visitation trends, volunteer support and intentional efforts to become a litter-free community are critical for the protection of our scenic values and wildlife. Roadside litter presents a dangerous threat to bears and other animals who have a very keen sense of smell and are drawn to litter along the busy road corridor, putting animals and motorists at risk. Participants of all ages are welcome. Meet at the Gatlinburg Welcome Center at 8:40 a.m. to register, get supplies, and attend a safety briefing. For more information about volunteering, please contact Volunteer Coordination Sheridan Roberts or Keep Severe Beautiful website at www.keepseverebeautiful.org. Sounds like a good site. Who knows? Maybe someday in the time that I don't have, I can figure out how to do one of these activities. That'd be pretty cool. It's kind of far away from me, but let me see if there were any comments over here. Sorry, I'm getting my bearings. That's what that guy, the LABC, going, getting my bearings straight. He's hilarious. I'm getting my bearings. I'm trying to read where I left off here. Oh, thank you for Prescott link. My dad told me about it. You were going to check it up. Okay. Chad says we're heading to the Wisconsin Dells Kalahari for our kids' spring break water park adventure area and just some time to relax. Yes, buddy of mine from up in Minnesota just went there in the last week and had a couple of pictures out on YouTube, or not YouTube, Instagram or something like that. That place looks fantastic. Looks like they had a blast. You guys are going to have a great time, Chad. That is really, those Kalahari resorts are awesome. That is really neat. Rita shares my channel. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. Everybody here is like an all-star in the chat, right? Or in the live stream. And I appreciate it. So that was just some passing comments that I just want to continue to make sure that I'm making striving for the effort that I put into it. Haha. Got you guys. It's almost April Fool's Day. You should have known me better than that. That's right. You fooled us. And it is. See, if you do it on April Fool's, too bad this live stream wasn't on April Fool's, right? When is April Fool's? It's going to be in the middle of this week. That was a good one. Nice job. That was really good. April Fool's is Thursday, guys. So don't take anything too seriously on Thursday. That's good to know. Yeah, glad to know you're still with us. The wife is in Panama Beach with the daughter and grandkids. I stayed home with the fur babies. I'd rather be in the mountains in June. Yes, well, mountains in June is just a beautiful time, and you're about 10 degrees cooler, right? 15 degrees cooler than Panama. The live stream is much better than some I've seen, and that is the reason I've stayed tuned in. And I'm very humbled by that. And I appreciate that. I would enjoy sharing these articles with the fantastic folks that are here and some others too, because I think they're interesting. But I also get it. I kind of worry too. I'm like, well, how am I going to get an audience with this type of news from people that are, maybe international, or maybe somebody's from Texas or North Dakota or New Mexico or Oregon. They might not find this very interesting. But that's what it's niche. It's specific to Western North Carolina. So these are some of the things I contemplate. But for the folks that find this type of stuff interesting, or this part of the country, it'd be like if you joined a live stream to somebody on YouTube that was from Portland, Oregon, or from Boise, Idaho, or something, and they brought up their news and notes for the week, and they're talking about the hiking outside of Boise, and you don't know anything about it, you might get bored. So I don't know. I for now I really enjoy it because it's news from around the area that I'm in. But very, very kind and very nice comment there, Rita. Thank you. I'd be at the beach, Loggy, says Larry. Larry likes the beach because he gets enough cold. Did you get anyone? You got me. I thought you left. Yes, you did fool. You fooled me. Yes. I agree, Rita. I wouldn't change a thing with how you do things, Mr. Matt. I appreciate it, Larry. Thank you. That means a lot. I really do. And thank you. That's a good gauge as well, because you're from Ohio, although I know you enjoy the area down here as well. So it's good to get a gauge, because I do get concerned. I'm like, maybe I should make the articles more generic, but then that's not about where I'm from. So I'm not as intimately aware. Like, the things I'm typically talking about are the Blue Ridge Parkway, Asheville, North Carolina, Western North Carolina, hiking outdoors. It could be Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, East Tennessee. Did I say Great Smoky Mountains National Park? That kind of stuff typically. So you never know. Maybe people aren't that, don't know as much. But yeah, I'm not an ocean person that much. Just miss Captain Jack's buffet king crab legs. You're making me hungry, and I already ate dinner. I'm looking forward to going to Myrtle Beach and going back to the buffets. There's about 100% chance I think that's happening this summer. You are so sweet, and I appreciate that. Hope you as well. And you got me with the April Fool's joke. That was a good one. You got us early. Yes. Grandma is 95 on Friend Day. I do know that. I've been talking about that a lot with the family, and would like to send her, a small gift or something like that. So, or at least get with her on Skype. Quite amazing, isn't she? 95 years old. That is amazing. I would like to visit her this year. I think they get too big. Like, Gits are so big now that they get 25 times who has the best pizza questionnaire is more personable. Yeah. One of the things about a couple of things about a really, really large channel. One is, it's hard to, it's very difficult to get the attention of who's hosting, which is not a problem. You're not everybody is, but if you're trying to get a question in or something like that, like, it can be a real challenge. It's like a lottery, basically, whether or not they read it. I've been on live streams that have 1,500, 2,000 people, whether it's Disney or somebody else. And they're never going to read it. They might not even read super chats. They're so popular. I've seen some live streams where they get a super chat and they don't even have an opportunity to read it because their channels are so big. And it is true, too, that some of the travel channels, like the reference you made here about getting the same question, because some people will use channels for travel planning, which is a great thing, actually. But you get people that are transient. So they'll subscribe, they get gung-ho for a while, they're very interested, they take their vacation, and then they fade away. But then a new batch of folks comes in and they have the same questions. And yes, it can be. Living like Larry, so many of those questions are subjective over there, but those folks get so angry if you do not make it about them. Oh, unfortunately, I love Yankee in the South. I can't be on the live stream the whole time because it's just too much time and I have too much going on. What's been going on? Are there people? Normally it's always friendly and nice, but I heard some comment about there were people getting upset if they weren't changing the topic to what they wanted to talk about or something. I didn't really understand it because I'm not able to attend long enough, so I don't really know what's been happening. Actually, on a completely random question here, I cannot see on my channel here with StreamYard the moderator tools. That's the one downside. So there's several of you that are moderators. Do we ever get a troll here? Have you guys ever had to take out a troll question? StreamYard is slow. Like this stuff, I don't think is real time. Like your comments pop up, it seems like 25 or 30 seconds after I'm pretty sure they're posted because there's a delay. Do we ever get the occasional troll or we don't, which is good. I'm not wanting any. I was just curious. Oh, they do. Yes, they get angry. So somebody's getting angry. I just don't know that story. You'll have to give me context. I prank people all the time. It's just this April Fool's Day. That's awesome. Everybody likes a good laugh. A good laugh makes the world turn, and it is the best thing. I'm telling you, laughter is fantastic. That's wonderful. 95, bless her. My grandmother, and thank you, Foxy Wolf, Loggy Doggy. My grandmother is an amazing person. I mean, everybody's family has their own amazing, but my grandmother will still play. She was a musician, so she will play the organ at church. I mean, and play it really well, and can play the piano. And I'm not talking about chopsticks. And really great music. And she's also really knowledgeable, even on the tech stack and computers. Over the years, it hasn't been that many years ago that, and even not so much anymore because computers gotten better. But she'd be asking questions about the firewall on the computer and Windows and setting up. And I mean, she has a webcam so we can do Skype and all that kind of stuff. I mean, she's pretty fantastic. So it'd be pretty cool if I could get her to figure out how to join into this thing. I think she might enjoy it. She knows the channel. I just don't know if she knows and she's super smart. I just don't know if she knows the concept of what this means, like a live stream. People come in late and get the same questions over and over. That'll happen in two reasons. One, if you're very popular, and two, if you have a very long live stream. Like some of the Disney ones, they would do for 6 or 8 hours. And how many people would come in and say, the same thing over and over at the Disney live streams? Like, how long have you been there? What's your favorite restaurant? These people have the patience of a saint, though, because that might be their living and what they're doing. So you gotta deal with it. Yes. Prayers for living like Larry. That was a request for you. That's how much you care. Very, very nice of you, Hope Faith. Hey, Javier Zarate. I might have mispronounced it. Hello, everyone. It's me, Javier. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Let us know how you're doing. Very nice of you to stop by. That isn't anything bad about you. It's just how big they are now. 600 people on stream. Lots of repetitive questions, so don't grow too fast for us. Well, I don't do this full time, so it's not going to grow too fast. Do I think that this live stream warrants maybe 30 to 50 people? I would think it would be interesting to some folks. It's just, again, a lot of people don't know it exists. So, some of these articles are pretty fun. I wish people would be more careful with the trash. Yes, I worry that they'll end up making the Rangers have to sedate the Bears or somehow block them from being free. That's what happens. That's what I've heard, Rita, is that if a bear eats trash, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I swore this is what I heard or read, that if a bear eats trash and it can't get through the digestive system, they'll have to put it to sleep because, it's in pain and agony. And I don't know if they couldn't do surgery, or it could be, just a really bad situation. They also, the obvious, they don't learn how to eat on their own. So they start bothering people and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah, here's where I'm a little pessimistic about the whole trash thing. Um, when you get an adult that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever they are, um, people begin to get set in their ways. Like, everybody here talking is like, oh, keep the parks clean and do the right thing. And we're all of that consensus, but that's because what we believe. Probably not talking to many people that litter and stuff. And then all of a sudden hear this and they're like, oh, well, let me change that. You'd like to think people be like that, but I'm a little pessimistic that I think once people learn behavior and how they feel and what they do, they don't have much of an appetite to make great changes. It's like, well, this is my, there's a garbage can, and if it's not empty, then that's their fault. They should get more workers to empty it more often so they can pick up my trash. That could be a mentality of somebody. Where else that happens? Oddly enough, the gas station. You ever been to the gas station and you got like a little wrapper or something to throw away, and you go to the gas station and it's like flush with the hole, all the garbage, and it's all full, and it's, they haven't emptied it yet. So you look for another garbage can, or I guess take it back in the car and go to the next place. Yeah. I think I have taken out one question that was inappropriate once. Very respectful people here, no really trolls. Okay, good to know. I was just curious. I meant to ask, and I was curious if we ever had anybody. One of the things about this channel, I don't mind getting into an intellectual or a neat conversation around one of these stories, and talking about debate, but I don't like, I certainly don't like the politics. It's just so toxic, and not the way I want to spend my Monday evening. And there's anything offensive. I'm also all welcoming to everyone, so very friendly here and a very welcoming place. So I want it to be enjoyable, but I don't mind getting into, we've had conversations about, things like this, like, what are people doing, carving their name, and, like the Blue Ridge Parkway, when I went on the motorcycle ride, people stealing signs, what idiots do things like that? That's crazy. That's terrible. So anyway, we're all seem to be big proponents of keeping our parks clean, because when you drive in your car, you want to see those beautiful mountains and trees and everything, and the flowers. You don't want to see somebody's 7-Eleven hot dog wrapper, blowing along the side of the road. 95 years young. That is great. She sure is. Grandma's a cool person. Does anybody? Yes. Oh, no, sorry. I thought what Chad was going to say was the hot tub video, which has kind of gone semi-viral. Did anyone see the video of the bear attacking the wild hog, trying to drag it up the mountain? It was short because of the nature of it. No, I didn't see that one. The two I saw recently that were in the cute category were, one was the bear chilling in the hot tub. If you haven't seen that, I meant to put that in the news and notes tonight and forgot. And the other one I saw last night was a mama bear. Traffic was stopped and she was pulling like 5 cubs across this like 4-lane highway, but the cubs kept going back across the road. So she kept having to go back, and she picks the cubs up with her teeth and pulls it back to the other side. And then the cub would run. It's like real kids, you're trying to corral them in. Those are cute, but I did not see the one that Chad is talking about here. Glad to hear that you're doing well. And again, welcome to the chat. I think you warrant lots more. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I just, I think I don't, again, I don't have to overanalyze this live on it. I just, at times when you look at the percentage of number of subscribers versus how many people show up, I have an opportunity for 1,100 people to be notified potentially of this live stream. But what is that? How's my math doing? Is that like, that's like 1% show up or less? Let's see. No, that might be 1 point something percent. But anyway, it's a very low number. And so, yeah, I just, if people gave it a chance, but I also wouldn't mind constructive criticism if somebody came in the chat and then said, hey, appreciate it. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the reason I don't like. But a lot of the thing too is I'm on very late. If you look at most people, again, they're on earlier. And because I am focused in an area that's basically East Coast somewhat is central if the folks like in Nashville and pardon me, in Tennessee that are an hour behind. So that could have a little bit about too. Foxy had heard about the story, but has not seen it yet. I have a little riddle for everyone if you want to hear it. Bring it on. What's black and white and read all over, or maybe read all over? Think about it hard. A newspaper. What do we see? Oh, good night, Mr. Mountman. Are you okay? Good night to you as well, Brian. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you. Javier did see the video. I did see the hot tub one. That was neat. Yeah, the bear in the hot tub was really cool. Have a great week again, Brian. Newspaper and a Bible are two of many answers. Okay, is that the answer? Was that the answer? That could be. That's cool. Saw bear at Anakeesta. Oh, okay. Anakeesta. I have yet to be to Anakeesta. I'm telling you where I'm just really going to go this year, and I'm not missing it again, is Obergattenberg. I love Obergattenberg. The mama bear and the cubs. Rita, you saw that one? That was really cool. I'll go sub. Oh, well, if you hadn't, I appreciate that, Javier. If this just showed up on your homepage and you ended up joining, well, we appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the content on the channel. And again, if you have any feedback, you can leave it on the video or here to what you like. Yes, thank you. Larry says there are quite a few on Later Than You that I know of. Yeah, I think the Carpetbagger once in a while goes on at like 10 o'clock at night as well. I had to leave to good company, but 4:30 comes early. Good night. Be safe, blessed. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Loggy Doggy. I hope you have a wonderful week at Easter and everything coming up. Thank you for joining us this evening. So far, so good. Appreciate that, Javier, on the feedback. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. Yes, welcome again to Javier and anybody else who might be new as well. Let's get to the next article here. So yes, anyway, consensus. I like this. They're going to try to clean the parks. We've been talking a lot about it. I'd like to see more of this and expand out even more into some of the other areas like Pisgah National Forest and some of the areas. Maybe they have something. If anybody ever knows, feel free to share that information. Let's see. Next up. Oh, yeah. This is kind of interesting. So the article was from WNC Magazine, which means Western North Carolina Magazine. Ready, set, go. 5 places to go in 2021 with direct flights from Asheville. Now, if you guys were paying attention last week, you already know one of them, and there's a picture right there. But I'm going to read them. And by the way, I've actually been to all of these places, not from Asheville, but over the years. If you have been to these places as well, let us know. First one, Las Vegas, Nevada. 5 places you can go direct from Asheville. Flight time, 4.5 hours. And they talk a little bit about the city, in addition to around-the-clock gambling and a neon-tingled nightlife. That'll make you wish you had 9 lives and extra liver. The city that never sleeps has some exciting new offerings. Nevada's first professional stadium. Yep, they got an NFL team complete with translucent roof and retractable doors. Open to grand views of the Strip. Debuted last fall to pro football games, concerts, and sporting. It's also the first ever casino, has America's largest pool amphitheater. Truly one of a kind feature. And if wide open spaces in order, Las Vegas is gateway to many national and state parks. Yeah, I was out there one time, and a couple of my friends went out and did some hiking. And man, it slips my mind where they went. They went like 2 hours in a car somewhere. All right, number 2, Baltimore, Maryland. Flight time, 1.5 hours. I have been to Baltimore. It's been a long time. The historic seaport offers plenty to do, including a lovely inner harbor packed with shops, upscale crab shacks, a Civil War era warship, and the National Aquarium. A great place to discover the ecology of the Chesapeake Bay. But if for no other reason, go for the seafood. Baltimore is a great jumping off point for exploring the Maryland Crab and Oyster Trail, a self-drive road trip to restaurants and seafood markets across the state, where cracking, shuckling, and savoring the sea salty goodness provide a variable taste of the free state. That picture right there, and that museum with the little pointy thing in the back, unless they've changed the name, it was called the Bar Harbor area. And I had been there at least twice with my parents. So if they're still there, and that's absolutely the case, it was fantastic. The crab cakes are so good. Speaking of seafood, if you like seafood, Baltimore, Maryland, to go there for like a long weekend and eat the seafood, that is a really cool place. I haven't been there in a long time. Number 3, Austin, Texas. Flight time 4 hours. Music fans will rejoice in Austin's eclectic live music scene. Festivals like SXSW is South by Southwest, I think is what that means, happening virtually in March this year. And Austin City Limits in October showcase legendary acts alongside rising stars, while some 250 venues provide a stage for musical artists of every genre. Smorgasbord of bars, breweries, and distilleries, sizzling Tex-Mex eateries and barbecue joints, museum and galleries, as well as outdoor pursuits and practically year-round sunshine won't disappoint. What I remember from Austin is very clean city, good food, good places to go. So another great place in Texas. Washington, D.C., number 4. Flight time 1.5 hours. D.C. is spectacular during springtime when thousands of cherry blossoms burst forth throughout the nation's capital. But the city's monuments and museums, many of them free, can be enjoyed any time of the year. It's perfect for family vacation and a chance for all ages to explore history, art, technology, space, and more. I went in the 8th grade to Washington, D.C. and haven't been back, and I would love to go back to the Smithsonian and all that stuff. I'm sure I could appreciate it 10 times as much. You know, when you're in the 8th grade, you can't hold attention to history and stuff like that. If I enjoyed it then, I bet it would be a blast now. I would like to go there again someday. And number 5, last but not least, not far from my old stomping ground, Orlando, Florida. Flight time, or Sanford technically, because it's probably Allegheny Airlines, or Allegiant, 1.5 hours. While there are direct flights to multiple points in Florida, Orlando is a trip for 2021, especially if you have kids. In October, Walt Disney World marks its 50th anniversary. Yep, 1971. As you might expect, the mega theme park plans to unveil new rides, hotels, and restaurants, notably in Epcot, my favorite park, though some may not be open until the restrictions lift. If Disney's 4 theme parks and 2 water parks aren't enough, Universal Studios nearby, beaches, New Smyrna, Canaveral National Seashore, and while often overlooked, the quaint lakefront town of Sanford is charming, with 19th century buildings, antique shops, craft breweries, restaurants, and outdoor recreation along the St. Johns River. Yes, actually, I think we had one of our kids' birthdays at a park there near the river in Sanford growing up. And there's also the zoo is there as well. So, yeah, brings back some memories. So there's 5 places that you can go direct from Asheville, North Carolina. Just to repeat and recap: Las Vegas, Baltimore, Maryland, Austin, Texas, Washington, D.C., and that Orlando. Yep, there's the 5. All right. To wrap it up, somebody was talking about the weather early on. Check this out. And this is what I was talking about, the grass seed. So what is that for? Oh, okay. That's just the slide number. It was like kind of popping in. I'm not used to that. Maybe there was an update. Go away. There we go. Look at the lows starting on Wednesday and Thursday. That is actually a picture of a snowflake on Thursday. Now, it's not going to happen because I checked and there was like a super low chance, but that would be crazy if we got some more snow, but it's not unheard of. It's late March, early April. It's still cold. Just like it's not weird when we get snow in November or December, which is fall, not winter. So, we're just a stone throw back to winter. But yeah, it's going to be chilly. 32, 24, 27, 36, 41. So 3 days at or below freezing overnight. So I'll probably wait till the weekend to probably put out that fertilizer grass seed stuff. Anyway, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you have it, folks. That is the news and notes for the week of March 28th, 2021. Let me catch up on the comments here. Sorry, getting back to where I was. Yes, he is the one. Jacob, I think, might be on after you. Yep. I bet you he waits. Does he start his live stream and say, "Hey, everyone, Mr. Mountain has just finished. And so now I, Jacob the Carpetbagger, am starting my evening live stream." Let me know if he does that. No, he doesn't. By the way, I always plug him because he doesn't need it, but I love one of his videos in particular, House on the Rock, which I've talked about several times here. Yes, great bunch here, Javier. Missing tonight that are usually here. Yeah, Foxy's right. But Foxy said earlier, maybe spring break. It's a little bit later and all that kind of stuff. Very great group and conversation. Yes, Chad and everybody who's able to join here. Hey, Naoka. Sorry I'm late, but I'm an Idol fan. Have to watch show. I watched that show like the first or second season it was out, like way back in the day. What would that have been? Around 2005 or 6, whatever season that was. So it's been about 15 years. I haven't watched it much in that. Hey, Mr. Carlos is here. Who would want to leave Asheville? That's right. That's kind of tongue in cheek. You're right. No need to leave Asheville. Plenty to do right here. But it is very neat to know that there are some direct flights to cool places. And also hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday, Mr. Carlos. Has anyone seen the 10 fish in a tank riddle video? It's funny. I have not. The funny videos I've seen some this week where people taking retribution against the spammers and the scammers. I saved a video, but I haven't had a chance to watch it, where these scammers, that try to steal money from people and stuff. This guy ends up being able to hack into the computer of the scammer and starts deleting his files of the scammer. And then the scammer guy gets really upset. I want to go back and watch that because it's kind of like, got you coming at you, now this is the truth. Forget about Asheville. You're a hop, skip, and a jump to Atlanta and can go anywhere. When I went to the Philippines, I had a direct flight from Atlanta to Japan. It's slipping my mind the name of the city that I went to, but it wasn't Tokyo. It was one out a little bit ways. But anyway, direct from Atlanta to Japan. That was a long flight. So yes, you can go a lot of places from Atlanta. Yes, and always stop. Like when I lived down in Florida, everywhere I had to go connected through Atlanta. And if I fly anywhere from Asheville, I'm always connecting in Atlanta too. Chad's heading out for the night. I hope you all have a great weekend, a wonderful Easter. You as well. Happy Easter to you, Chad. Thank you for stopping by. No more snow, says Larry. Right. Well, if I'm seeing the snowflake icon on Thursday, you might be seeing real snow. I don't know. We will have to check out that video. Sure, if that makes you feel good, I'll go with that. That's right. It's getting cool in my house right now. I wish it would stay in the 70s. The up and down temperatures drive me crazy. Yeah. It also makes folks susceptible to getting a cold because, it's like, oh, it was 75, but now it's 30 outside and it gets crazy. Yeah. Oh, Larry, did you see some of those this week too? Yeah. They're funny. Sometimes I don't have time to watch a video and I watch like 2 minutes, so it shows in my history, and then I'll go back. I think there's a watch later piece as well. Hey, Hike with Mike. I'm just about wrapping it up. I'm at my time here, but I'm glad you came, and maybe you'll be able to go back and watch it. I hope things are going well for you down in Florida and you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Yes, Nyoka says, happy Easter, everyone. Rita mentioned a good movie called Yes Day. It's funny and family friendly on Netflix. I know the kids already watched it. I wanted to watch it with them, not because I was worried about it or anything. I knew it was a good family video, and they got right on it the day it came out. I was like, oh, I wish you would have waited for me. Yeah. Do you get the pollen out there like we do here in Raleigh? So that's a good question. Like, I don't remember it as bad. Florida was crazy. Like it was like icing on a cake on top of the car. But I'm not sure if it's as bad. I'll let you know, Mr. Carlos, as the spring progresses, because I honestly don't remember. Maybe it was, and then we had some rains and it washed it away quickly, but I don't recall it being super bad. Yes day, it's great. Yes. Yeah, the jerks. Are you talking about those scammers? Yeah, they are. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. I saw another one where, have you heard that fake phone call where they're like, we have audited your taxes, and if you don't call this number right now, we're going to call the sheriff's department. So there's a video of the sheriff of that town via the scammer, and they're calling the scammer, not identifying themselves, playing in the line. They're like, oh, so you've already talked to the sheriff? And the guy on the phone's like, yep. Yep, we talked to the sheriff. If you don't, send us $1,000. I'm like, really? So which, what's the name of the person? And they're like, well, that doesn't matter. Just send us the money. And, but it was the sheriff themselves. I saw another one. One of my kids found this comedian from England, and he messes with the scammers via the email. And, send me money, do it via Western Union, the whole setup. And he's like, good. But he starts asking them a whole bunch of questions and, going on tangents, and the scammers are getting frustrated. They're like, just send the money. And he's like, well, hold on. I have to send it securely. So I'm going to send you one number of the Western Union account number at a time. So when you put together all the emails, it'll be the account number. Are you ready? Yes. Sends the first email. First number is 1. Okay, got it. And the second email, he'd ask a different question. He's like, yes, send more numbers. And then the guy sends the second number, 2. Okay, I got it. And then he keeps sending, tangents and all this. He's like, send more numbers. Sends the next number, 3. There was supposed to be 31 numbers long. And by the 4th one, where this is going. He sends the number 4, and the scammer's like, goodbye, do not email me again. So it's crazy when they turn the tables and they start messing with these people. I don't advise that, by the way. Some of these people, you click the wrong link or you do something, it will hijack your computer, put a nasty virus, something yucky on it. So don't do that, but enjoy watching other people do it. Florida is absolutely horrible for the pollen that comes out during the dry season. No rains to wash it away. That is the truth. Yes, we can check it out. Bad in Georgia. The glitter bombs. Oh, with the fart spray for the porch pirates. I got to check that out. I will Google or query that on YouTube. Greatest sheriff in America is the sheriff of Polk County, Florida. He is awesome. Yeah, and I also saw that the sheriff over there in Volusia County, Mike Chitwood, he unfortunately got hit by a hit and run. Because I still get some of the emails for the news journal down there, and that was unfortunate to hear. He just put deputies in jail for the theft, I believe. Oh wow, yeah. So don't mess around down in Florida. So anyway, guys, I'm at 1 hour 42 minutes, which is about 10 minutes over what I normally do. I had a wonderful time this evening. I hope you did as well. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. A happy, enjoyable, safe, and pleasant Easter. Spend it with family, friends, or if you're by yourself or whatever you end up doing. Hopefully it's a relaxing day, a peaceful weekend. I hope everybody has, again, a really nice, safe, enjoyable week. And we'll keep in touch through Instagram and here on the channel as well. Don't forget to check out my other channel, The Eclectic Candyman. And let's see. Yep. Just a couple of last comments here about the Polk County. Yep. Enjoy the live stream. Don't fall for the jokes on the first, and have a happy Easter. That's right. Thank you for the reminder. April 1st is coming up. I see lots of the Polk County Sheriff. I'm in Ohio. Good night, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Thank you as well, Javier. Good night, Nokia and Foxy Wolf. Have a safe and wonderful, happy Easter. Nice seeing you again. Have a great night. Yes, good night, Mr. Carlos, Foxy Wolf, Nyoka, Javier, Living Like Larry, Rita, Hike with Mike, Hope. Let's see who else here. There were some other names, Mom and Dad, and Chad, and that rhymed, Loggy Doggy, Brian, and anybody else I may have missed. I hope. Oh, Jennifer Rathbone's here, hanging out in the background as well. Happy Easter and good night. That is perfect ending. Everyone have a great week. Take care. Happy Easter. And we'll see you next Monday. Take care, everyone. Good night.